My life is different now. It'll never be the same. I talk about this in the sense of we will never be the person that we were before the loss. But I really want everyone to understand that everything in your life changes after your loss. Even after you've done your much needed work and your heart is healed and you're finding moments of happiness throughout your journey here on earth, whatever time you have left, it's still different. It's not the same. And sometimes the difference is good. Sometimes it's better. And sometimes you still long for what you had.
Yeah. And when we say everything is different, I almost want to, the way the birds sound in the morning is different. The way that cup of coffee tastes when you take your first sip. I mean, everything, even down to the like tiny minutia of your day is different because you're different.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you that everything is different, but there's also, I want to go to this part first. There's also some things that um you now appreciate more or you long for more, you think it's more beautiful. So recently, everything in my life is different. Number one, I live in a different state. I sold everything and moved to a different state. And this is over time, but one of the things is you also appreciate things that you didn't appreciate before even more. So for me, it's the color green in nature. I just feel like really drawn into the color green now. And that is almost a sacred moment for me where I don't think prior to that I really looked at that. And that's different.
And I know that like we've shared a lot about how large our family is and how we love, we're very close knit, immediate family, and even extended family. We're very close. But that need and appreciation for family was different. Like to me, that was like the biggest. Like we almost like became joined at the hip. We wanted to be closer. We wanted to be together more. We wanted like that. The need for family, I think, became so strong. Where before, I think we kind of maybe just took it for granted. You just appreciate that we have this amazing family and we all get together and we, try to be. But it's like you have a need for it because you don't want one more person to not be there at a function. That makes sense?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, how many times have we've talked about this before that we all say I love you now when we hang up the phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could my family be any louder? Do you
I
think?
can't hear it.
Oh,
Family you
okay.
love?
So
Your loving family?
my loving family. See, everything's different. So could we also have a need? What was I saying? I even forgot what I was saying now.
You were talking about we were just saying how family, the need for family, the appreciation for family, wanting to be together.
So sometimes the everything is different comment is a good thing. And sometimes it's a sad thing, and
Yeah.
sometimes it's a bitter thing, right? Like everything is different. Like I can't even tell you how many times I long to really call Sharon and have her break something down for me, have her tell me, yeah, girl, this is how you should do it, or just share that thing with her. Everything is so different. So for me, there's this longing sadness in that part. Um, but the looking at the boys and being able to talk about the boys and sharing of the boys and sharing stories of the boys, even though that is different, there's a little bit of joy there. So that's what I mean. Sometimes it's when everything is different, sometimes it's bitter, sometimes it's sweet.
Right. Oh yeah, there's a lot of bittersweet moments. I think especially when you do your healing work, you can see them more as just bittersweet instead of dark and sad. We to us, we just look at it, we acknowledge the reality that, oh, yeah, they're not going to be here another. Like for Kelsey's wedding, we have our niece's wedding coming up in June. And Donovan would have been all up in that. It's like looking at that of like, oh, he's not going to be there, but it's not a something that's knocking me down to my knees and I'm going to be crying on her wedding day because he's not there.
Oh yeah, 100%. Here's the other thing that happens. We could get stuck in the everything is different part and just start looking at all the negative parts of the everything is different. So we start keeping records of wrongs of all the negative parts of everything is different, instead of being like, oh, that's different now.
Yeah.
Sitting in it for a minute, seeing what the emotion of that is, and then processing that emotion all the way through, as opposed to really sitting into the list of, oh, these are all the things that are different. And everybody that comes up, you pull the list out and you start reading all the everythings that are different.
Mhm.
That's a whole different way of living and being on this journey.
And I think for, where this really resonates is this just popped in my head. It's not, for when you've lost, like you lost your best friend, me losing the boys, there's not necessarily a role of like your day-to-day living. But when you lose a spouse and you're now having to pay all the bills, make all those phone calls where normally one person, it's either one or the other, or you're having to do the grocery shopping and you didn't have to do that before, or the laundry, and you're doing all the things.
Yeah.
That is a huge everything is different experience. And it gets me overwhelmed when I think about it. When we work with people who have lost their significant other, I get overwhelmed because I'm like, I don't want to do all the things.
Yeah.
It's a huge
Well,
everything.
you and I have, sorry, you and I have very similar relationships in the sense that we both are connected at the hip with our husbands and we do everything together. There's multiple days where we're together just doing everything, going to the Walmart, going to the Costco, and you're picking up pig feed and all the whatever you guys do out there. I don't know what it is. I didn't say pig feet. I said pig feed. But I agree with you 100%. There are times where we're working with a widow or a widower, and I can't even imagine what it's like. Everything is different. To not be able to sleep on that side of the bed, or all constantly looking at that side of the bed, or just knowing that I got to go into that bed and he's not there. Everything is different.
Mhm.
There's degrees to the everything is different. And there's emotions that go along with everything is different. Because I want to say something else. One of the things that you and I teach quite often is thought work and the thoughts that go through our head. And we can get stuck in everything is different as a thought,
Mhm.
right? So our event is, for me, Sharon died. That's my event. And then if I start thinking everything's different, you can get stuck right there in the everything is different, in a good way and a bad way. Oh, everything's different now, I'm free. Or everything's different now, I'm alone. So either way that you think of that, everything is different, that thought can play
True.
havoc in
And
your
for
brain.
me, like with the everything is different for the kids, like after Austin died for Donovan, and then after Donovan died for Jordan, everything is different. You want to overcompensate.
Yeah,
Nothing is the same for them. So I got to give, 600 presents for Christmas, or I got to
yeah,
make this birthday, the best birthday he's ever had because everything is different. So that's
yeah,
also a trap because it's a thought and we
yeah,
want to overcompensate. I don't want them to feel sad because everything is different. They already feel sad.
yeah,
Speak to the sad, be in the sad, and
yeah,
don't overcompensate. And the same for the surviving person, the significant other. You don't have to. Everything is different. I need to um, sell this house and get out of here. You don't have to do those things. You got to go to the feelings and get out of the thought, which is very important.
that is the best example of everything is different, I think, because just what the way you change, we change in the everything is different. Not
Yeah,
only is everything different physically, everything is different emotionally, everything is different, mentally, but everything is different. And the part of everything is different is I want them back. I want them to be here. I want them again. Everything is different. Trying to fix the everything is different, I don't think is the way to go at it. It's more so that we wanted you to understand. Yes, it comes two ways. It's like, yeah, you're right. Everything is different. My heart is with you. Everything is different.
yeah. And going back to the thought of it, what emotion is coming? Everyone is going to feel the sad.
Yeah.
Everything is different. I'm freaking pissed that he
Yeah.
left me. Everything is different. I'm so scared. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Everything is different. I'm just confused.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's get into that emotion. What is the emotion that comes up? And that's where you need to be.
I love the way you finish the sentence with everything is different. And then you add that part on because each and every one of us has their own, everything is different. What's yours? Everything is different.
I don't want to live without. I don't want to be here without you.
Everything is different. I need you to be on the phone with me one more time. We all have our everything is different.
Oh yeah.
And forever you'll have that, right?
Mhm.
Everything is different, but I'm so glad you got to be in my life for all those years.
Oh, I've learned everything is different, but I learned so many things. I learned so many things from Austin just about how to be an amazing 70-year-old in a 10-year-old's body. And I learned Donovan has prepared me for the 20s, which I needed that lesson for Kayla and for Jordan. So everything is different, but I learned so much.
Everything is different, but I wouldn't want to do this journey for 1 second without you on it.
No,
I'm so honored that I even got to do 10 years with Austin. I got to do 55 years with Daddy. I got to do 21 years with Donovan and 15 years with Sharon. Everything is different, but I'm so glad that you were on this journey with me, even if for this short period.
1000%. I love it. It doesn't get better than that.
And everybody has that everything is different.
Hmm.
Figure out what yours is. And if that your everything is different is painful, follow our Facebook group. Subscribe to this podcast and continue listening to the podcast. Reach out and make an appointment with us. Even if you just want to finish your sentence of everything is different and you want us to know. Everyone has an everything is different. What's yours?
Bye, friends. Thank you.
Bye.